Good morning, dear students. How are you? I hope and I think all of you are hale and hearty by the grace of Almighty. I'm really delighted to be in front of you again because I have been given another opportunity today. That's why I'd like to continue with the topic that I started in my last class. You know that I started with transformation of sentence related to simple, complex and compound. Today I am going to recap, that is I am going to make you remind what I talked about in my last class. And those who are with me right now are requested to be ready with your pens and scripts because today we will learn some rules and regulations of transformation of sentence regarding simple, complex and compound. Okay. The students, be really fast to give me the answer today. The students, you know that in my last class I started with simple, complex and compound. I told you that sentences are of two types. Sentences are of two types. They're sentence according to structure and sentence according to meaning. You know that. Sentences are of two types. They are sentence according to meaning and sentence according to structure. You know that according to structure we can classify sentences into three types. They are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. And according to meaning, sentences are of five types, you know. They are assertive, interrogative, imperative, optative and exclamatory. So these are the two types of sentences according to structure and according to meaning. I started with sentence according to structure. As far as I know, I told you several times that sentences are of three types according to structure. They are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. I uttered this sentence for a lot of times. And what is the sentence? Simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence are the sentences according to structure. In other words, I can say simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence can be identified, or you can say will be, or you can say are identified according to their individual structures. And I started talking about the individual structures of simple sentence, complex sentence, and today I will talk about compound sentence. But before starting compound sentence, I'd like to make you remind what I told you regarding the structure of simple sentence and complex sentence. Dear students, I told you that in Bengali simple sentence means সরল বাক্য. Simple sentence and one subject and one finite verb. A simple sentence has one subject and one finite verb. I told you how to identify finite verb and non-finite verb. I told you that the verb which is with a subject is a finite. I told you the verb which helps us to identify the tense of a sentence is a finite verb. I told you that the verb which changes according to person, number and tense is called finite verb. Okay? So in other words, I can say the verb which doesn't help us to identify the tense of a sentence is a non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs don't possess any subject in the sentence. Non-finite verb cannot be changed according to person, number and tense. Okay? So in simple sentence, we will have one subject and one finite verb. Okay, in a simple sentence, definitely there must be one subject and one finite verb. If you get more than one finite verb in a sentence, definitely this sentence will not be simple. Okay, now let's talk about complex sentence. Complex sentence refers to the structure. Complex sentence refers to the structure where we will get one principal clause and one subordinate clause. I talked about clause, principal clause and subordinate clause. I told you that clause is a part of a greater sentence having one subject and one finite verb. Clause is a part of a greater sentence having one subject and one finite verb. Okay. So if you get a clause, you will get one subject and one finite verb. In a complex sentence, you will get one principal clause and one subordinate clause. What is a principal clause? A principal clause is such a clause which is able to express its meaning without the help of any other clause in a sentence. And subordinate clause definitely depends on a clause called principal clause. And in complex sentence, definitely we will use some conjunctions, and these are the conjunctions which would be used in subordinate clause. In principal clause, no conjunction is used. So my dear students, I talked about up to this part. I give you some examples of simple sentence as well as complex sentence. Now I'd like to talk about some of the important conjunctions suitable for complex sentence. Okay, my dear students, get ready. I'm waiting for your quick reply. Okay, I talked about complex sentence. I told you that in a complex sentence you will get one principal clause and one subordinate clause. In a principal clause you will get one subject and one finite verb. In a subordinate clause you will get one subject and one finite verb. And in a subordinate clause definitely you are going to get a conjunction. Okay, and this conjunction connects principal clause and subordinate clause. Okay. Now my dear students, I'd like to give you some of the conjunctions which will help you to construct complex sentence. Okay. As, since, because, if, unless, that, so that, in order that, till, until, though, although. Who, whom, whose, what, where, when, how, why, blah 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 blah. There are a lot of more conjunctions that I haven't written. The students, here I have written some common conjunctions for complex sentence. But don't think that if you get these words or conjunction in the sentence, that sentence will be complex. Don't think that. If you get these conjunctions, and with these conjunctions, if you get one principal clause and one subordinate clause, it would be complex. Is it clear? Is it clear, my dear students? So you have to look for one principal clause and one subordinate clause, and these are the conjunctions or conjunction phrases that will be used in subordinate clause. Okay. Now my dear students, you are requested to give me I have highlighted the conjunctional phrase so that you are requested to make a sentence with the help of so that. Right now, please write down, my dear students. You are requested to Make a sentence with so that. Hurry up, hurry up. You are requested to make a sentence with who, and you are requested to make a sentence with okay, we can say when. Okay, make some sentences with so that, when, who. I'd like to know whether you can make example or not. Roman Sarkar, our guest today. Swapnil, you have written a sentence, but here I will be capitalized. Tahsinul Islam, your sentence is totally wrong because you have used small letter for R. Milon Roy, you always eat rice or eat. Thank you. Aziz, E of English will be capitalized. Very good. Mozammel, thank you. I'd like to have some excellent, gorgeous sentences. Students always write, I eat, I read, blah, 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 blah. Avoid these examples. Try to use some gorgeous sentences. I want to have some fiery sentences, okay? Hurry up. People go to school, eat rice, read English. Avoid these examples. Give me some attractive ones. Who is to bail the cat? Ruby, you have to bail the cat. Give me the answer, Ruby. Munna, you are always welcome. I will be in Dhaka College. Meet me after 12. Excellent, Shahidur Rahman. Oh my God, Abir, you are really clever. Ashfika, okay, thank you. Samiul Islam, why are you using Bengali? You can make a lot of questions, and your question should be in English. I feel sorry for Polash. Oh my God, Rimon. Oh my God, I want go Iran so that I can make missile. Okay, thank you, my dear students. You have written Parbon Dev. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you. You people are really gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Now, my dear students, I'd like to give you some examples with first with so that. Scientists have invented vaccines so that we can fight against deadly virus. Look at this, student. Scientists have invented vaccines so that we can fight against deadly virus. Okay? Viruses, sorry. Okay, that's my first example. My second example is who? The doctors who work ceaselessly. The doctors who work ceaselessly are respected by all. And for when you came across the chairman I was with you. Look at my dear students. I have written 3 sentences for you. Scientists have invented vaccines so that we can fight against deadly viruses. Here the first sentence is this is the whole sentence. The first part, scientists have invented vaccines. These are the first part, and the second part is so that we can fight against deadly viruses. This is the second part. Here, look at my dear students. Scientists have invented vaccines. Here, scientist is the subject, and have invented have become finite verb. So in this part we have got one subject and one finite verb. Look at the second part. So that we can fight against a deadly virus. Here, so that is the conjunction or conjunctional phrase. Okay, so that we can fight against deadly virus. Here, who is the subject and can fight finite verb. So in this part we have got 2 clauses. The first clause is scientists have invented vaccines, and the second one is so that we can fight against deadly viruses. So these are the 2 sentences. Thank you. These are the 2 clauses that we have got in this sentence. And look at, scientists have invented vaccines. This is the part, this is the clause which can express its meaning without, so that we can fight against deadly viruses. Okay, that's why we will call scientists have invented vaccine a principal clause, and the next one is subordinate clause. And in subordinate clause definitely we will use a conjunction. So this one is principal clause, this one is subordinate clause. In total we can say this is an example of complex sentence. Okay, now my dear students, the doctor who works ceaselessly are respected by all. The doctor who works ceaselessly are respected by all. Who works ceaselessly, this is subordinate clause. Who works ceaselessly, this is subordinate clause. And if I omit subordinate clause, there should be, the doctors. The doctors are respected by all. Okay, so my dear students, the doctors are respected by all is the principal clause. Who works ceaselessly is the subordinate clause. In total we can say that this is an example of complex sentence. My third one, when you came across the chairman I was with you. When you came across the chairman, this is an example of subordinate clause. I was with you is an example of principal clause. In total we can say this is an example of complex sentence. Okay, now my dear students, I'd like to talk about compound sentence. Okay, look at this. Okay, before learning compound sentence, I'd like to give you one more example. Okay, the umpires decided to postpone the match for dense fog appeared. My dear students, I have written a sentence on the board. Can you please identify whether this is an example of simple sentence or complex sentence? What do you think? Look at the board. The umpires decided to postpone the match for dense appeared. What type of sentence is it? A simple sentence or complex sentence? Shakib, simple. All of you are expecting to have simple sentence. Masum Billah, complex. Raihan, simple. Simple. All of you are willing to give me the answer, and that is simple. I will calculate whether this is an example of simple sentence or complex sentence. Sujan, simple. Tasin, simple. Nilay, complex. Tasin, simple. Imran, complex. Okay, you are fighting with one another. Some of you are telling that this is an example of simple, and some of you are telling that this is an example of complex sentence. Let's see what happens. I want more answer from you. I want more answer from you. Hurry up, my dear students. Look at the sentence. Look at the sentence. Simple for sure. Salauddin, I always take your name. First day Rabbi Khan, obviously simple. Sometimes simple becomes complex. Be clear. Be very, very attentive. Simple, complex, you are fighting. I'm really enjoying. Okay, I'm really getting enjoyment from your answer. You're fighting. Some of you are saying obviously simple. Some of you are saying complex. My dear students, this is for sure an example of complex sentence. This is an example of complex sentence, my dear students. Habibur Rahman, don't be sure. This is an example of complex sentence. Why is this an example of complex sentence? Why? Dear students, here for means because. Look at please. The umpires decided to postpone the match. This is the example of principal clause. Here for means because. For can be a conjunction. You people know that for is a preposition, but here for is a conjunction. Only 20% students have been correct, while rest of the students have made mistakes. Okay, Someone wants a treat. Okay, come to Dhaka College. I will give you a treat after 12. So my dear students, look at please. Let's calculate. The umpires decided to postpone the match. This is an example of principal clause. Dear students, sometimes the word for works as a conjunction, and this for gives the meaning of because or as. Okay. So I can say for dense there should be a word for dense fog. Sorry my dear students, sorry. Here should be a subject. It would be dense fog. But here should be written a word that is fog, no problem. But one thing must be kept in mind here, for is working as a conjunction. The umpires decided to postpone the match for dense fog appeared. For dense fog appeared is the subordinate clause, and the umpire decided to postpone the match. Should I give you another example, my dear students? Should I give you another example? Okay. I'm going to give you another example, and you have to decide whether it is a simple sentence or complex sentence. How long I will stay is doubtful. How long I will stay is doubtful. What type of sentence is this, dear students? What type of sentence? Hurry up, hurry up. What type of sentence? Simple or complex? Write down. Ramim complex. Mirja Bishti complex. Masud Jana, yes sir. But what type of sentence? Simple or complex? Mustafizur Rahman, a student of second year. Complex. This is the identification of simple, complex and compound. You will get some rules from me. Masum Billah, again simple. Very sad, very sad. Tasin complex, Tariq Aziz complex, Deepamit complex, Srimanto Shikdar complex, Araf Haq complex, Aryan complex, Masud Jana complex. Oh my God. Okay, if it is a complex sentence, okay, I think this is an example of complex sentence. But my dear students, now tell me. You know that if any sentence, if you get a complex sentence, you will get one principal clause and one subordinate clause. Which one is the principal clause and which one is the subordinate clause in this sentence? Identify please. Okay, I am agreed with you. This is an example of complex sentence, but try to identify principal clause and subordinate clause and write in the comment box. Write in the comment box. I want to know. Okay, complex, but which one is the principal clause and which one is the subordinate clause in this sentence? Niloy, no, you are not absolutely correct, Niloy. This is an example of complex sentence. Thank you. This is an example of complex sentence, but try to identify. Try to identify the subordinate clause and principal clause. Tahsanul Islam, you are absolutely correct, but what is the subject of principal clause? Tell me. you people are still uncertain. Okay, look at, please, I'm going to help you. How long I will stay? This is subordinate clause, because in this part you have got a conjunction, that is how long. How long I will stay is an example of subordinate clause. How long? How long I will stay. This is the example of subordinate clause. Okay. So the remaining part is doubtful. Is doubtful is the principal clause, but I have a question here. Is doubtful is the finite verb of the clause, but my question is, where is the subject of principal clause? Who can tell me? Where is the subject of principal clause? Hurry up, tell me. What is the subject of principal clause? Yes, thank you. Here, the students, here, how long I will stay is the subordinate clause, is doubtful is the part of principal clause, and is the finite verb, and how long I will stay is working. How long I will stay is working as the subject of principal clause. Okay, I'm going to repeat. Is the finite verb of principal clause, and for this finite verb definitely you are going to get a subject, and the subject is this subordinate clause. The whole subordinate clause is working as a subject. Okay, and if you think that a subordinate clause is working as a subject of a principal clause, you can put it for this subordinate clause. Okay, if a subordinate clause becomes the subject of a principal clause, you can put it in the place of that subordinate clause. You can say it is doubtful. Okay, is it clear to you, my dear students? So this is an example of complex sentence. Now make it simple. Now I just make it simple. Now make it simple, my dear students. You are requested to turn this complex sentence into simple. A very critical question for you. Try to turn this complex sentence into simple. Hurry up. You are requested to be very fast, because I need to make you learn compound sentence. Okay. Be very critical. Okay, this is a critical question, my dear student. No, most of you are making mistakes here. Why are you using lifetime? Have I used anything that expresses lifetime? No. Not a single sentence, not a single student has been able to give me the perfect answer up to this part. No, very sad, very sad, very, very sad. Abir Hassan, you are almost correct. Yes, Nuruddin Sarkar, your answer can be taken. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I want more answers from you. Hurry up. Excellent. Nafis and Islam, I'm really agreed with you. But it should be, there should be a change. Oh my God, you are writing some very, very confusing answer. Okay, let me tell you. The duration of a staying doubtful. The length of my staying is doubtful. Okay, you can use the duration of my staying, or you can say stay, okay, is doubtful. I think it's clear to you. Dear students, I am not practicing you, I am not making you practice simple complex transformation of sentence. Actually, I wanted to make it clear. That's why I have given this question. Actually, we will at first learn simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. And after learning the basic structure of simple, complex, and compound sentence, we will definitely go deeper into rules and regulations of simple, complex, and compound. So, my dear students, I think both simple sentence and complex sentence are crystal clear to you. Can I expect that you have got simple sentence and complex sentence clearly? Okay, now I'd like to start with compound sentence. In Bengali, a compound sentence means যৌগিক বাক্য. In Bengali, compound sentence means যৌগিক বাক্য, and this compound sentence can also be identified with its individual structure. Okay, look at, I am going to write down. A compound sentence is created when two or more than two coordinate clauses A compound sentence is created when two or more than two coordinate clauses in bracket principal clauses connected with the help of coordinating conjunction. Look at my dear students. Look at. Ashfika bint Aziz, you are not correct, my dear students. My dear, you are not correct. A compound sentence is created when two or more than two coordinate clauses are connected with the help of coordinating conjunctions. Dear students, so a compound sentence can be created with the help of coordinate clauses. Coordinate clauses. All the clauses of compound sentence are coordinate, my dear students. You have to use coordinate clauses. But my question is, what is coordinate clause? Actually, principal clause is called coordinate clause. Dear students, principal clause is called coordinate clause. Principal clause is called coordinate clause only when these principal clauses are connected with coordinating conjunction. I am going to repeat, my dear students. Compound sentence consists of two or more than two coordinate clauses. Actually, principal clauses are called coordinate clauses. Principal clauses become coordinate clauses. I told you that at the beginning of my lecture. Principal clauses are able to make their meaning clear without the help of any other clauses. If two or more than two principal clauses are connected with the help of coordinating conjunctions, a compound sentence is created. All the clauses of a compound sentences are coordinate clauses. Coordinate clauses mean principal clauses. That we have to learn coordinating conjunction right now. Okay. For coordinating conjunction, we can use the word fan boys. I have written a word that is fanboys. Okay, fanboys. Okay. In this word you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coordinating conjunctions. Okay, what are they? Write down. For, if, for. Okay, a, and, in, nor. I will not tell you anything. Just give me the coordinating conjunctions. Write down the coordinating conjunctions using the word fanboys in the comment box, please. I am waiting for your answer. Write down what type of coordinating conjunctions are there in the word fanboys. Write down. Write down. Hurry up, write down. Thank you, Muzammil. Riyad, thank you. Tasinul, thank you. The word is fanboys. Some of you are making mistakes. Okay, hurry up. I want more answers from you. Ashfika bint Aziz, our guest. You have problem with still. Still is not a coordinating conjunction. Shipra Shaha, still is not a coordinating conjunction. Fahad Ibn Twin, wasting time. Okay, done. F means for, A means and, N means nor, B means but, O means or, Y means yet, S means so. These are the coordinating conjunctions, okay? These are the coordinating conjunctions used in compound sentence. If these conjunctions conjunct two or more than two principal clauses, a compound sentence is created. Look at please. Mother opened the window, but couldn't see the bees. Mother opened the window but couldn't see the bees. Look at this. In this sentence we have got a conjunction, that is but. But is a conjunction. Mother opened the window, this is a principal clause. Mother couldn't see the bees, this is the principal clause. These two principal clauses are actually called coordinate clauses, because these principal clauses have been connected with the help of but. But is a coordinating conjunction. That's why we can say these principal clauses are called coordinate clauses. Okay, so my dear students, we have talked for a long time. It's almost 45 or 47 minutes. I have already talked about the basic structures of simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. From our next class we will talk about the rules and regulations related to simple, complex and compound. That is, we will talk about the rules of transformations related to simple, complex and compound. Now my dear students, within 2 minutes I would like to make you remind what I have taught you related to simple, complex and compound. Look at my dear students. Now look at me. In my last class I started with the classification of sentence. I told you the sentences are of two types. They are sentence according to meaning and sentence according to structure. According to structure we can classify sentences into three types. They are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. And according to meaning, sentences are of five types. They are assertive, interrogative, imperative, optative and exclamatory. Okay, actually I wasn't interested in talking about assertive, interrogative, imperative, optative, exclamatory, because you know this item. Actually I started with simple, complex and compound. I told you that simple sentence consists of one subject and one finite verb, and I told you that a finite verb is such a verb which helps us to identify the tense of a sentence. These finite verbs have subject in the sentence, and finite verbs can be changed according to person, number and tense. Okay, and the principal simple sentence must contain one subject and one finite verb. A complex sentence consists of one principal clause and one subordinate clause. I told you that a clause is a part of a greater sentence having one subject subject and one finite verb. A clause contains one subject and one finite verb. So a principal clause contains one subject and one finite verb. A subordinate clause contains one subject and one finite verb. So in complex sentence there will be two subjects and two conjunctions, and these two clauses are connected with the help of conjunctions. I gave you a list of conjunctions suitable for complex sentence. At last I have talked about compound sentence. A compound sentence is created when two or more than two principal clauses, actually coordinate clauses, are connected with the help of coordinating conjunctions. Now I'd like to give you a sentence. If I give you simple, you will have to turn it into complex and compound. If I give it into complex, you will have to turn it into simple and compound. Okay, look at Should I give you something easy or difficult? What do you think? An honest boy is wanted. Just make it complex. Just make it complex, my dear students. Just make it complex. Make it complex, my dear students. Aryan, you are busy. Aryan, if you are busy, please leave the class, no problem. Okay. A boy who is honest is wanted. Or you can say the boy who is wanted. This is also correct. A boy who is honest is wanted, or the boy who is honest is wanted. Okay. So my dear students, I have talked for a long time today. I have talked almost for 53 minutes. Thank you for your excellent participant. I am really overjoyed with the participation you have ensured today. So I don't want to continue anymore. Thank you for being with me. I'd like to meet you very soon with first paper, because we have some more lessons to be completed. So my dear students, thank you for being with me. I always want you to stay at home and try to continue the speed of studying with the opportunities or help Dhaka College is giving. Thank you. Goodbye.